Howdy, howdy, ho, y'all. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is Wednesday, hump day. Happy hump day. I'm Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs, and I'm going to make an apron. I'm going to silk screen. I'm not going to make an apron. I'm going to decorate an apron. Big difference. I could make an apron if I wanted to, because I have a sewing machine and I know how to sew. But I keep saying I'm going to pull my sewing machine out, and well, I don't have to really pull it out because it's already on a table. But I want to get back to doing some sewing. But anyway, so today this is what we're gonna do, y'all. Check him out. Is he not too cute? This says, "The world needs messy people. I'm your girl. You need a messy people? I'm your girl." Anyway, do y'all remember a while back when I said that I wanted to just have like white clothes with paint on it? And hey Kyler, how are you? I wanted to have just, like crafting clothes. So this is the closest that I've gotten to it so far. I'm going to take a Chalk Couture apron, so sorry about the noise because this is going to be loud. The cellophane is loud on the camera. And we're going to take an apron, and we're going to take this stencil, which is like silk screening. And we are going to put this message on here. And then you know what I'm going to do? I think we should start a trend, y'all. I really think we should start a trend. All right. I think what I'm going to do is, as I'm wearing my apron, I'm going to be wiping my paint off on my apron and using my apron. And we're going to see how it goes. I'm not going to necessarily wipe it on there today. All right, hold on. I'm looking for, there it is. I am looking for it's called a wool mat. You use it a lot when you're sewing and ironing things. Oh, look at that. This has already got paint on it. I didn't waste any time, did I? I got it on the side of this, but you know what? It's going to get more paint on it, so I am really not going to... Look at that, y'all. I am telling you, hey, Amanda, you need a messy person? I'm your girl. All right, so I'm going to spray a little bit of water on this. And then I am going to you don't have to iron this out, but for today, I'm going to go ahead and iron it. I don't always iron things, but the creases are kind of defined on this. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I want to get me a nice flat surface. Now, remember that the last time that I made an apron was the apron that I made for my nephew, Seth. And he is loving his apron, y'all. He is loving it, loving it, loving it. All right, I'm just going to get this flattened out a little bit. Oh, why is this talking to me? We'll find out. So this is going to be my apron that I think I'm going to start doing my crafts in. And then if I need to wipe my hands or anything like that, I'm going to decorate it with all of the things that I need to use this for as a rag. And if I can find a white shirt, I would add a white shirt to this. But you can see, I didn't waste any time. You need a messy person? There I am. All right, so when you work with ink with Chalk Couture, I want to take this up. I don't need this down here. I only need this if I am, hold on. Put that down there for now. All right, I'm going to get a ink mat. So let me pull this out. This is an ink mat that I have cut into 2 pieces. And I'll show you. It's supposed to be 11 by 23 inches. The 11 I did not mess with. The 23 inches I did. So it was, let's see, one big long piece, okay? 23 inches. But I just cut it because a long time ago I was doing a baby project, like a little onesie. I was using a Chalk Couture stencil on a onesie, and I needed something smaller, so I cut this down. So all of that to say, it doesn't hurt it. And all right, this is going to be loud. I'm going to try and put it over here so it's not so loud. And we are going to take, and we're going to put this behind here. And it looks like I'm going to try, I hope this is going to fit on here, y'all. I didn't even look to make sure that it was going to. All right, I'm going to just get in under the wire on this one. Ooh, that was close. All right, I might bring this down. Well, no, I think I'm gonna leave it right there, and we'll just butt it right up against here. So let me get this ink mat behind here, and since I don't have, all right, let's see, how far over do we want this to go? All right, we want this in the middle, so this needs to move over just a smidgen. Okay. Now, this particular apron is really, really thick. Typically, I use the ink mat for two reasons. Number one, it'll make the fabric nice and taut and it will keep it from shifting. All right, let's see, how do I have, all right, I just want to see if this is going to cover it, and it is, okay. So one reason is to keep the fabric stiff, keep it from shifting. The other reason is to keep the ink from bleeding through, like onto the surface of whatever you're stenciling on, or, you know, the back of a canvas bag. Now, this would be cute on a canvas bag too, y'all. All right, so what I'm doing right now is I'm just making sure that the sticky part of this ink mat is stuck to the fabric nice and well. All right, and I've got, all right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this stencil, and what I like to do is I like to take my finger and just kind of grab the corner, kind of, see how it kind of bends a little bit? I like to grab that corner and then pull this off of here, and then I'm going to turn this upside down, and that way if it decides to shift while I'm working with it, it won't stick to itself, because there's a sticky part. The back of this, all right, so I'm going to line this up right here. The back of the stencil has an adhesive on it, okay? And so, all right, so here we go. We're going to put this right underneath here. And we want to make sure that we get a good solid seal on this. Oh, I'm so excited to do this, y'all. I can't wait. So this is going to be my, oh, it looks like it's off a little bit. All right, let me lift this up. I want to move it over just a smidgen. Which means I gotta bring that down. I want this to be in the middle. So let me kind of get it in the middle here. I'm going to make this so that it butts up right against the pocket, and then lift this, and it looks like I'm going to be okay. All right, let me see. All right, that looks better. That looks better. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my black ink. This is Chalk Couture's black ink. Hey, Jody, we are going to make a messy apron. I don't know if you were on the live that I did when I talked about that I wanted to have like all white clothes and just have them be painted up. Well, this is going to be my messy apron. The stencil that I'm working with is, I guess this is Linus, right? He's the one who carries the blanket. All right, here we go, y'all. Here we go. Anyway, this is going to be my go-to apron for my crafting. And this way, if I need to wipe my hands and I can't find a paper towel or something, then I'm going to use my apron, and we are going to just kind of decorate this guy up with, as time goes on. I'm not going to do it all at once, okay? This is going to be like an overtime type thing. All right, let me turn this around. And I like to go from the edge of the design into the middle or the center of the design. And then that way you don't go off of your stencil. Chalk Couture calls these transfers. But either way, it keeps you from going off on these. And I really should be wearing an apron, y'all, because you need a messy person, I'm your girl. I am definitely your girl. I remember when I was in the 2nd grade, my mom, we were at a fabric store, and there was this beautiful pink wool fabric. And I asked my mom if she could make me a dress in it. And I was so messy as a kid. I'm still messy, y'all. Let's just be honest. I was so messy that my mom said that she was not going to, because the fabric was so expensive, that she was not going to make anything with it unless I could go 2 weeks without coming home with my lunch on me. And so I went 2 weeks without anything. All right, let me lift this up and see. You want to lift it up a little bit at a time. Oh my goodness, y'all. This is too adorable. And if you see any places that you miss, you can still bring it down. Oh my gosh, this is just too cute. All right, let me put this in my water. And I'm going to put this in my water. Down in here. Now, with your ink, you want to make sure that you clean your stencil pretty soon. I'm going to put this in the water, and let's see if I can get it all the way down in there without making too much of a mess. We want to at least get it past the, hey Nancy, we at least want to get my messiness past the first stage. So let's dry this. Oh my goodness. Now, I think there's low stock on these, so if y'all are interested in getting this stencil, you may want to get it sooner rather than later. But I will tell you that if you do want to get the stencil, sign up for the Perks program. I'll send you a link, and you can get 30% off of it. So don't pay full price. Sign up to be a Perks member underneath me, and oh my gosh, y'all, this is gonna be too adorable. Gonna lift this up so that the heat will go all the way through. Hey, Karen, how you doing? Good to see you, Karen. Love you, girl. All right, I'm gonna dry this, and then we're gonna heat set it. So everybody in my house is always telling me, they're always having to go back behind me and pick stuff up off the floor because I can't bend over to get it. And it's an endless job for them. Oh my gosh, how cute is this? And then wait till I get paint on it. That's gonna be fun, isn't it? All right, I'm gonna turn it around and show it to y'all. All right, let me see. I need to get this here so that I don't melt anything. Maybe. All right, hang on. Let's turn it that way. All right, let me show you what I have. And then what we're going to do is we're going to heat set this. All right, so this is our apron. Look at that. The world needs messy people. Isn't that too cute? Oh my gosh. All right, let me heat set it. Let me heat set it. What did I do with my... This is the last step. So anytime you want to work with the fabric and Chalk Couture stencils, it's really pretty easy. You just, all right, make sure that this is going to fit. And I'm going to get a piece of parchment paper, not wax paper, parchment paper. Big difference. Okay. Let's see if I can get that back there. I want to get my heat gun out of the way. All right, here we go. We're going to bring in the heat press, y'all. And I've got this at 305 degrees for 30 seconds. And we're going to, it's not quite big enough to do the whole design, so I'll have to do this in 2 sections. But anyway, this is as easy as it gets because it's one color, it's one and done. You don't have to worry about working around any other designs and mixing the colors or anything like that. Now, if you wanted to afterwards, I'm not going to do this because I want to turn this into like my working apron. And all right, I'm going to do the top of this at 305 degrees for 30 seconds, making sure that I get the whole thing, and then I'm going to flip it over and we're going to do the same thing on the back. And then that way, after that, it'll be completely heat set. I'll be able to send it through the washer and dryer without any trouble. And this is a pretty heavy duty apron. We're going to find out just how thick it is when I turn this over. All right, let me get this out of the way. And it's hot. I'm going to just kind of, oh my gosh, y'all. Okay, see, it didn't even go through. I mean, you can see it through the light, but as far as if the light's not there, you don't see. So this is a pretty thick canvas. Kind of a canvas-like. All right, let me put this, I'll put this down. I like to put the parchment paper where the ink is. And so that's why I put it on the back side of this. All right, here we go. 30 seconds again. But yeah, so you'll just run your squeegee over it. Make sure that you've got all of the design done. And then you lift your stencil up and then dry it and then heat set it. And you can let it dry overnight. You don't have to use like a hair dryer or anything like that. I just use the heat tool simply because I'm online and I want y'all to see the full procedure of what we do. All right, and so after I do this, I'm going to put this on. Probably I will get it dirty right away, knowing me. And all right, we've got 13 seconds. And then I'm going to show you how to clean the stencil or the transfer. All right, here we go, y'all. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boop. All right, we're going to turn that off. We're going to put this on. Ha-ha! Check him out. Check him out. I would like to say that I'd like to keep this clean, but, you know, I know myself too well, y'all. It just ain't going to happen. It is not going to happen. All right, so let me bring my messy towel in here. And I'm going to take the stencil. You can see how it's been sitting in the water. Oh no, where's my board eraser? Hang on. I got one over here that I can use. I don't know where my other one went to. All right, let me dip it in my water. And I'm going to just take the board eraser and just clean it off, making sure that I get all the ink out of the silkscreen area. That's the most important part. And I don't know what I do with my board eraser. Good thing I had an extra one over here, huh? All right, so we're going to do the top of this, and then we're going to turn it over, and we're going to do the back side of it also. And you don't want to leave your stencil in the water too long. It's not, these aren't made to be in the water for a long period of time. All right, and there we go. And even though, okay, so even though this is stained, let me do this way. Even though it is stained, the silkscreen area is clean. So now what I need to do, let me get this out of the way. I'm going to take and I'm going to dry this, and then I will put it back on the back sheet that it came with. And then I'll be able to use it again without any trouble at all. Now, when you're working with fabric, you pick up a little bit of lint on your stencil from the fabric, so you don't have to worry about fuzzing it or anything like that. Hey Sheila, how are you? Come on in. You see the apron that we just did? The world needs messy people. I'm your girl. All right, so let me get my back sheet here. Turn this upside down for right now. We'll get this out of the way. And so this is going to be my crafting stencil, y'all. I mean, my crafting apron from now on. It's going to be one of them. I've got a couple of them, but this one I'm going to designate so that I can get it dirty. And all right, so what I like to do is I like to line up the side and one of the corners, and then press it down, and then turn it over, and then we will put this back in its sleeve, which is not that one, but this one, I think. All right, it'll tell you on here, yeah, this is the one. It says this is called Messy People. And so I think we need to start a trend and everybody make one of these, and we will get our aprons messy, and people are going to want one to go along with it. As soon as I get offline, I will post a link. Like I said, this is on low inventory, low stock right now. So if you think you want to do this, then go ahead. I'm going to bring this in so y'all can see my apron. Is he not too cute? Now, if you wanted to, you could go in and you could color his shirt, and you could do his shoes, and you could add other stuff to it. But I'm going to leave this just in black and white, and then as I craft, I will just naturally get my apron messy. I won't have to even think about it. It'll just happen. All right, that's all I have for y'all. I hope that I've inspired you to try something new. It's a fun craft. It's a Chalk Couture was kind of like a jump start for me to learn a lot of other things about art. By occupation, I was a math teacher, so I've learned a lot of things that have been way outside my comfort zone, but it's been a lot of fun to learn. It's been a lot of fun on this journey. All right, y'all have a wonderful Wednesday. I hope that God reveals himself to you in new and exciting ways today and throughout the week. I love you, but Jesus loves you more. Have a great night, and I'll be on tomorrow. All right, talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.